Hello, friend. If this is your first time to the collective, I want to welcome you. If you're returning, I'm really happy to meet you again. And right now, we are focusing on what mental blocks and barriers are keeping us from moving forward. What is it that is keeping us and preventing us from achieving the things that we want to achieve? And yes, I am a solution-oriented reader, but in order to know what the solution is, we have to get to the source of the problem. And the source of the problem may be the source of the problem may be that things are just confused and conjumbled, but I like to use the cards to help to bring clarity to it, because in order to know this full solution, we have to be able to see the full problem. So, what is it? That's just an unfortunate chunk. What is it that is keeping us in this spot, that's keeping us in this place, that's keeping us from feeling that we can change or do what it is that we want? This card, yep, 100%. Wow. Golden Shadow. Discover deep dreams and desires. So this right away is telling me that you have these dreams, that you have these desires that you've had probably since you were a kid, and it's still a big part of you. Maybe you want to be in a band, maybe you want to be a painter, maybe you want to be a dancer, maybe you want to create a business, maybe you want to be a crafter or a carpenter or something. There are some big dreams that are just lying deep underneath the surface that are a part of who you are at your heart, and your shadow has not forgotten these things. So why don't we remember what it is that we want it to do? What is it that little you wanted to do to grow up to be, and society has told you no? What was all that? Integrity, loyal to the innermost truth. Again, this is about going inward and discovering your truth. And I love this card, the image with the person sitting in darkness and then like the double helix spiraling up with lights, because that's actually how it works. You go inward and you find darkness, you find your fears, you find your doubts, you find all those inner critics and all those voices. And then amongst all of them, you find this little voice that's yours, and it's a little light, and then the more attention you give to that light, the bigger it grows. But that part of that light is just so integral, it's just so much part of who you are, that once you realize your truth, who you are as a person, you can't be anybody else. You can, but you're not going to be happy, and it's not going to be something that you're going to find yourself, wanting to go about day to day to do. Loyal to innermost truth is you being honest about what your desires are, about what your dreams are. And it's about you doing the work in order to, find and accompany those parts of yourself. Transcend beyond what you think you know. Again, so whatever this is buried deep. I mean, yeah, this card pretty much said discover deep dreams and desires, which tells me that, yeah, it's deep. It's been under there for a while, but this is making me believe that whatever this is something that you've almost completely forgotten that you even wanted to do, because it was something that was like quelched out of you so early. Maybe five-year-old version of you wanted to have these dreams and be this person. But starting the age of 5, you had to start being what your parents wanted or your grandparents wanted. You had to start conforming to society and the culture around you. You had to start fitting into this box, or else. And the or else is that you wouldn't be loved, or that you would be punished, or that, you wouldn't get the things that you were hoping to receive. So what is it that has been such a part of you that you almost completely forgot about because you weren't allowed to be that person, like that part of you? You weren't allowed to be that version of you. Not only were you told that you couldn't be an artist, but the crayons and all your paints were taken away from you. Not only were you told that, being a musician wasn't going to make you money, but all your instruments were taken away and sold. Like, I feel like whatever this is, it was practically robbed from you, and you never even had the chance to learn about it or discover your own passions about it at a young age. Like, it was one of those, you just had to be what everyone else wanted you to be. Self-awareness. Observe from a balanced perspective. This is important because as you're doing the shadow work, as you're learning, what it is that is loyal to yourself, as you're giving yourself the ability to, go beyond what you know, balance is really important because we live in a world where we still have to have one foot, paying the bills, one foot, doing the mundane, doing the laundry, doing the dishes. We still have to have one foot in a job that is obtaining us enough resources to be able to live, eat, have a roof over our head. Like, we still need to have both here. So self-awareness here is that reminder that yes, you're being called to do some deep shadow work. You're being called to get into your own spirituality here. You're being called to do all of that, but you are still very much in a 3D world where having a job and, paying the bills is part of it. Now, that's not to say that you're going to be stuck at that 9 to 5 doing forever. You just need to have a plan. So this self-awareness, this observe from a balanced perspective thing is how can you integrate both? How can you give yourself the ability and permission to be what it is that you want it to be at the age of 5 or whatever? And how can you allow yourself to work your 9 to 5 and, maybe take an art class or maybe take, a class for like guitar lessons or flute lessons or whatever it is, maybe take a dance class. How is it that you can begin to integrate these deep desires into the life that you have now and slowly make the shift into what it is that you're hoping to achieve? And I want to ask the tarot cards straight up. I don't want to ask them what it is that we're looking for, and I don't even want to ask what it is that has caused us to bury these beliefs, because honestly, it's very obvious with these 4 cards. What I want to know is I want to know what beliefs or what thoughts are keeping us trapped. Yeah, it's probably society pressures and it's probably family pressures, but what of your own mind? What of your own intellect? What of your own experiences do you need to kind of look back on or remember that has kept you in this space or in this place where you have forgotten yourself so much? Was it something that happened as a kid and then you just threw everything out the door? Was it, let's cards answer this. So the 9 of Cups, that tells me straightforward that, we need to actively work through our emotions, which also probably tells me straight up that you weren't allowed to express your emotions. Because remember, we are asking what it was that caused us to just bury everything so deep to the point where we almost forgot it. So when I see the 9 of Cups, it's that reminder that yes, we need to actively express, we need to actively do, we need to give ourselves permission to physically release emotions, whether that be crying, whether that be screaming in your car, whether that be, just throwing an actual physical fit by stomping your feet in the air and swinging your arms back and forth. I do it as a full-grown adult on occasion. Do I do it where people can see me in public? No, but do I do it in the safety of my kitchen? Yeah, 100%. Because, as a child, I wasn't allowed to express my emotions without getting in trouble. So the Knight of Cups comes in here and says, we need to express our emotions. We need to physically let our emotions out. Do you need to cry in the shower? That is a great place to cry, by the way. What is it that you need to do? Because something has kept you from expressing your emotions. Something in your past has told you that expressing my emotions is not good and it's bad and it's going to get me in trouble, or it's not going to allow me to be accepted, or it's going to allow me to be excluded, or something along those lines, and that's not true anymore. So let's be expressive. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so planting seeds and trusting the process. Like I said, knights like to move, they like to go, but the Knight of Pentacles is the only one that likes to go at its own pace, because the Knight of Pentacles is that earth energy. And I want to remind you that Pentacles is not just about finances, it's about your time and energy, because you spend time and you spend energy. So what I love about this card specifically, is that this knight is like leaving a dark area and moving into a bright area. So this, even in its own way, kind of shows what the journey of shadow work looks like. You go through the darkness and then you find the light inside yourself. So this is telling me that you have to start planting the seeds and discovering who it is that you really are. And maybe that starts with finding some guided meditations on YouTube. Maybe that starts with you just journaling. Maybe that starts with you, dabbling in something that you kind of do remember having fun with. Maybe just getting a coloring book and some crayons. Maybe, just turning on some music that you like to dance to. Whatever it is, just start doing the thing slowly and trust that those seeds are going to plant themselves. Because the Knight of Pentacles, he knows everything has a reason and a season, and he trusts the process. So this here too is asking you to trust the process. And then we have the Page of Wands in its reverse position. Page of Wands is that new actions, the new, physical routine, the new of doing anything. And with this Page of Wands, the first message that came to my brain is, oh, I'm not great at it right away, so I can't do it. I'm not perfect at it right in the beginning, so it's not right and meant for me. Which is a lie. Because everybody starts somewhere. You have to start somewhere. And you have to be bad at it before you can be good at it. Every master was a crappy beginner. I promise you that. My abilities in cooking started with me making some terrible tasting dishes, but now everyone loves to come over and eat when I cook. Everyone gets so excited when I'm hosting something because they're like, oh, Kirsten's making good food. What is she gonna make? What is she gonna give us this time that's different? You have to allow yourself to be bad at something before you can be good at it. And have fun with being bad at it. It's okay, because here's the other thing too. You're probably holding yourself to a standard that doesn't even matter. You're comparing yourself to other people who you don't know what their journey's like. You just see their highlight reels. So allow yourself to be bad at something. Allow yourself to have fun. Allow yourself to be sloppy. When kids learn to color or paint, they don't really care what it looks like. They come to you with the scribbles and the slops and the overly wet paint and say, look what I did, it's beautiful. And you know what? In their brain, it really is beautiful. So have that childlike wonder and fuck around and find out. See what makes you, what brings you joy. And if you're bad at it now, that's fine. Just keep practicing. You're gonna get better. Then we got Justice. And this card, I'm sorry, it's very video game-ish. Maybe that's where they got the inspiration from. I'm not sure, but I was like, Dark Souls? Anywho, so Justice. This card is a balancing card, and yeah, there might be some of you out there who are like, yeah, I have a court case, or I don't care. Justice, whenever I see it, has to do with your karmic justice. It has to do with your life. It has to do with what's happened to you from the beginning to where we are right now. And when this card comes out, it's telling me that there's going to be a balance. And it's telling me that things weren't balanced for a while. And I say that because, we have all this evidence of you not being able to be yourself. All this evidence of you having to live by other people's standards. All this evidence of, whatever it is that you have always wanted to do, just being constantly, looked down upon and quelched by others around you. This is your chance. This is your chance to balance those scales and be yourself. I mean, literally, we got observed from a balanced perspective. Allow yourself to dip that toe into creativity. Allow yourself to dip that toe into being different. Allow yourself to dip that toe into authenticity. Allow yourself to start balancing the scales so that way you can start being you, who you are, and not who the rest of the world wants you to be. It starts by you taking the actions, though, because the scales can only balance themselves out when you start acting the way that you want to be and start trusting the process that everything is going to work out. Now I want to ask the cards for some inspiration. For some inspiration and some direction on what it is that we need to do in order to, find that part of us that has been silenced for so long. The part of you that you've forgotten about because society has, that card. Because society has told you, or your parents have told you, or the world that you live in has told you that you just can't be, you. So let's get their advice. Creator alchemy. Okay, once again, we have a double, I think it's called double helix. Yeah, the double helix. So first off, whatever this is, it is such a part of you that it's in you. I don't want to say it's in your blood, because to me that just brings up too many family ties and other drama. But it's in your DNA in the sense of there is just something so a part of you that once you start doing this, you're going to be creating alchemy. And alchemy isn't some like magical woo-woo thing. Alchemy is just you creating with desire and inspiration in the moment and allowing yourself to integrate your heart into whatever it is you're doing and allowing something to just be in the moment. So alchemy is you literally just doing, expressing, and pouring everything that you are into something and allowing it to be what it is. Feed your artist. In case you needed more proof or more permission or something to be more specific about you needing to do something creative, here it is. Feed your artist. Give into that creativity. Give into your ability to physically express your emotions, whether it be journaling, whether it be coloring, whether it be paints, whether it be dance. Feed your artist. You are light. All right, so I think this is coming here as a reminder that this is one of those things where it's not, okay, hear me out. It's not that like you're a dark person or you're a bad person, but whenever I get you are light, you just have to remember that there's innocence in you. Yes, you've lived a lot. Yes, you've done things, and I get that, but you are still light. You are still, a kid at heart. You still have magic within you. You aren't just what you see in the mirror. You are so much more than that. You are light. You are stardust. You are made in a galaxy that this is. Like, you are light. Ooh, creator water. Okay, so again, straight up, that tells me that we are going to be able to create best with our emotions. Creator water, water is that element of the heart of, your emotions. And when I'm told to create with water, I mean, yeah, watercolors are like the obvious thing, but it's always that my emotions are dictating my art. My emotions are what are going to determine how I write, how I, paint, how I doodle or journal or use my pencils. Like, it's gonna be up to my emotions that are going to lead me to whatever it is I'm creating. So there really is something with you needing to create to release your emotions, to help you work through whatever has happened to you in the past. We need to really dig into that and lean into that. And yeah, that might look like shadow work for some of you, and it happens. Manifesting and doing. Same thing. Honestly, 100% the same thing. The easiest way to manifest something is to do the thing that you're trying to manifest. And if you are doing something, then you are bringing that energy into your life in order for you to receive it. So just start doing. Just start creating. Just start being. You don't need more permission. You don't need more evidence. You don't need another sign. Just start creating. Now I just want to ask the cards just for some gentle courage to give us to make this first step. Because, like, the fact that everything is telling you to create, to feature artists, to dive into your emotions, it feels heavy and it feels scary. And I feel like the mental block literally is the fact that we just don't know how to take that first step. We're worried and scared to take that first step, which I get. The first step is always the scariest. And sometimes the second one isn't any easier, but eventually the more steps you take, the easier it gets. So, okay, growth. Focus on personal and spiritual growth. Literally what I was just talking about with the steps. And yes, it takes time, and the first step is going to be the scariest, but the more and more you do it, the more and more you're going to grow. The more your art, the more your, desire, the more whatever it is that you're meant to create is going to get better. So allow for growth. And yeah, this is going to be on a personal level and on a spiritual level. Energy. Direct your energy towards what you want to achieve. So this is a good reminder that, you want to be happy. You want to find wholeness. So direct your energy to that. That doesn't have to take you away from, the mundane, the 9 to 5. But what it is, it's that balanced perspective that you have to have. It's that self-awareness. It's that, this is who you are from the 9 to 5 job. And now it's time to be who you want to be afterwards? Is that just you taking an hour a night to do whatever it is you want to do? Or is it to you taking, a day on the weekend? Whatever you need to do, direct your energy towards what it is that you're trying to achieve. Purpose. Discover and live your life's purpose. This card always comes at a time where you're looking for a new direction. You're looking for something to help fill in the spot, to complete you, to, do something. And it's because you're living a life that's not yours to live. You're living a life that someone else's to live. And this card is always that reminder of, there's more to you than what you are doing. And the thing that you are about to be doing, the creation, the art, whatever this discovery is, this is something that's going to lead you to something that's going to bring meaning to your life, that's going to bring happiness, that's going to bring real joy to your life. Harmony. Cultivate harmonious relationships. All right. So harmonious relationships, though, isn't just you and other people. It starts with yourself first. It helps to be in harmony with yourself, because the more in harmony you are with yourself, the more in harmony you're going to be with others. If you're in a disharmonious state of yourself, the people around you are going to feel that. It's going to affect your other relationships. So let's start being authentic to who we are now and honoring that authenticity, and then allow that authenticity to allow the relationships that you do have to become even more harmonious, to grow through harmony, you'd be surprised how much you could inspire other people to, be their own authentic self. You can inspire other people with your story, with your actions to, maybe break the mold that they're in. Maybe they're also in someone else's mold. Maybe they're also living a life that's not true to who they are. Allow yourself to reach out to those people, and maybe together you will find a community of people that just needed you to be the first person to do it. Yeah, that sounds scary, but you can do this. And if you're really unsure where to start or what you should even be doing, if you're, scared about doing something different, ask questions. Say something in the comments below. This is a collective, and we're here to support and care about each other. I will also reach out to you with your concerns and questions. If you need more information about, what it is you need to get into, if you're unsure on how to do shadow work, in the link below in the description, there is a chance for you to receive a shadow reading from your shadow, or maybe just get a typical tarot reading and, get more clarification on what it is that your skills are or what part of you that you're repressing. I'm here to help you, and I would love to help you just start this journey that is going to inspire so many other people. And I want to remind you, you are not walking this path alone. You are a part of this collective, and this collective is here to help and uplift each other. So know that you are not alone, and that other people are also learning about themselves and learning about their authenticity and trying to create their own inspiring story. This is all I have for you today. I thank you so much for sticking with me to the end. I cannot wait to see you again, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.